That high-end car that pulled up next to you at the light today? The one that made you feel small, like you were losing a game you didn't even know you were playing? The truth is going to hurt. That car isn't a sign of wealth. It's a receipt of debt. While you're staring at the shine of the paint, the owner of that car is suffocating to pay the installment. But the man who actually runs the city, the man who has what you truly desire, he isn't in that car. He's in a 5-year-old SUV, wearing a plain t-shirt, and passing completely unnoticed by you. There is a secret code. A set of rules that the 0.1% use to build generational fortunes while the rest of the world kills themselves to look good on Instagram. If you keep following the script they sold you, the script of flaunting to validate, you will never, ever be free. In the next few minutes, I am going to tear back the veil on silent wealth. I'm going to give you the habits no one has the guts to tell you because they don't sell get-rich-quick courses. They sell real freedom. And pay attention, halfway through this video, I will reveal Habit 0. It is the single habit that, if you don't master it, makes all the other 10 useless. If you leave before hearing Habit 0, you might as well delete your banking apps, because you've already accepted your defeat. Most people are addicted to the appearance tax. What is that? It's the money you spend to prove to people you don't even like that you have money you haven't even earned yet. It's the financed latest model iPhone, the car payment that eats 40% of your salary, the expensive dinners that serve only for a photo on your stories. Silent wealth starts with a brutal decision, the decision to be rich instead of looking rich. Think of your neighbor who just got a new car. Your brain screams, he's winning. But the reality is that he traded his most precious asset, time, for a piece of metal that loses 20% of its value the moment it leaves the dealership. He is further from freedom today than he was yesterday. The silent wealthy have what we call low time preference. They can look at a desire right now and say, no. They don't buy liabilities, they buy soldiers. Every $100 bill is a soldier they send into the battlefield to bring back more prisoners. When you spend that money on designer clothes, you are executing your own soldiers. You are disarming your future. Now, listen closely, because this is the first major mistake draining your bank account without you noticing. You treat your salary as the ceiling of your lifestyle. If you earn $5,000, you spend $5,000. If you start earning $10,000, you spend $10,000. This is called lifestyle inflation. It's the golden leash. You are running on a treadmill that speeds up every time you get a raise. In the end, you're still in the same place, just more tired. The Silent Wealth Guide requires you to keep your cost of living on the floor while your income rises. Imagine you get a $2,000 raise. What does the world tell you to do? Buy a bigger TV. What does silent wealth force you to do? Act as if that raise never happened. But why would anyone do that? Why live below your means? Because of FU money. Shortly, I'm going to explain exactly how much money you need to never have to bow your head to an idiot boss or accept a job you hate ever again. But first, you need to understand the danger of buying approval. Have you ever felt the need to upgrade your phone just because yours was cracked or looked old next to your friends? Silent wealth doesn't care about the screen. It cares about what's running behind the screen. While you spend time choosing the right photo angle to look successful, the silent wealthy person is using a 3-year-old phone to close deals, study investments, and manage assets. He doesn't need your validation. He has the validation of his bank statement. And here is a truth that will blow your mind. True wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the stocks that weren't sold. It's the real estate that is rented out. It's the businesses that run without the owner. It's the investments that yield while he sleeps. Consumption is what you see. Wealth is what you don't see. If you see someone with gold chains, giant watches, and brand names plastered across their chest, you aren't seeing wealth. You are seeing someone who spent the wealth they had. You are seeing the smoke trail of a rocket that will never reach orbit because it spent all its fuel on the launch just to impress the people on the ground. Do you understand the danger of this? You are competing for smoke. But wait, there's something worse. There is a mental habit sabotaging your ambition right now. It's the habit of outsourcing responsibility. You say you aren't rich because the government is bad, because taxes are high, because your boss is unfair. It might even be true. But focusing on that is like trying to drive a car looking only at the rearview mirror. You're going to crash. The silent wealthy have an obsession with an internal locus of control. They assume everything is their fault. If an investment went wrong, it's their fault for not studying enough. If income is low, it's their fault for not having valuable enough skills. Do you think habit zero is the end of the line? If you stop now, you'll only have the theory, but you won't have the weapons to face the world out there. Because there is a brutal difference between saving money and building power. The world is full of savers who die with a full bank account but an empty life. That isn't silent wealth. That is scarcity disguised as virtue. True silent wealth has one final component that no one tells you about, because it is dangerous to the system: absolute sovereignty. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to turn your paper soldiers into an army of real influence and how to protect your fortune from the biggest predator of all, your own desire to be recognized. And pay attention, because at the end of this video, I will deliver the invisibility checklist. If you follow these 5 points, you could be the richest man in your city and no one, not even the taxman or your envious neighbors, will know your real size. Let's talk about skill stacking. Most people try to get rich by being the best at one single thing. The problem: being the best in the world at something is almost statistically impossible. Silent wealth doesn't play that game. It plays the game of combination. If you are good at programming, you earn well. If you are good at programming and sales, you build a company. If you are good at programming, sales, and behavioral psychology, you dominate a market. The silent wealthy person doesn't flaunt diplomas, he flaunts utility. He is the human Swiss Army knife, who solves problems others don't even know exist. While your friends are discussing who the best soccer player is, you should be discussing with yourself, what is the next skill that, added to what I already know, will triple my market value? Remember, money follows utility. If you are easily replaceable, your bank account will always be mediocre. Silent wealth is built on the foundation of being irreplaceable and invisible. But here is the social cost no one warns you about: the loneliness of the top. When you decide to follow the path of silent wealth, you accept that you won't have the applause of the crowd. You won't have the wow when you walk into a room. You will be the guy people ignore at the party, while they fawn over the idiot with the fake watch who rented a car to be there. Can you handle that? Can you be the smartest and richest man in the room and let the fool take all the attention? Most can't. The ego is hungry. It wants to be fed. And the ego's food is other people's attention. The silent wealthy person understands that attention is a liability. It attracts problems, taxes, requests for favors, and judgment. He prefers anonymity because anonymity is the greatest freedom money can buy. Anonymity allows you to fail without being cancelled. It allows you to change your mind without being called a hypocrite. It allows you to live in peace. If you need people to know you are successful in order for you to feel successful, then you are still poor. You are just a poor person with money. Now, let's open the loop of the exit strategy. Many people start earning money and get trapped in the infinite accumulation trap. They want 1 more million, then 10 more, then 100. They become slaves to the Excel spreadsheet. The Silent Wealth Guide says you need a number. What is your freedom number? It's not the number to buy a Lamborghini. It's the number where the yield on your capital pays for the lifestyle you truly love, without you ever having to sell another second of your life to anyone. When you hit that number, you execute your exit strategy. You leave the rat race. You stop competing. Do you know what the silent wealthy do when they get there? They become ghost investors. They fund ideas, support causes they believe in, and mentor the next generation, all without putting their name on the plaque at the entrance. They understand that immortality doesn't come from having your name on a building, but from having your influence woven into reality invisibly. I promised the invisibility checklist. Here are the 5 pillars to build your fortune without leaving a trace. Live a life below your radar. If you earn 50K, live as if you earn 10K. The difference is your passport to freedom. Be a digital ghost. Use social media to consume information or sell products, never to expose your private life or your possessions. What no one knows, no one can ruin. Trade status for time. Whenever you have the choice between buying a luxury object or buying an extra hour of freedom, by delegating tasks for example, choose time. Always. Build a network of masters of silence. Surround yourself with people who are also in the game of real wealth. People who don't need to prove anything to anyone. Where conversations are about ideas, not purchases. Practice anonymous generosity. The final test of your detachment from ego is helping someone and ensuring they never know it was you. If you can do that, you have mastered money. Money no longer masters you. The journey of silent wealth is for the few. It is a path of discipline, silence, and brutal patience. While the rest of the world is screaming for attention, you will be whispering to your future. While they are burning tomorrow to shine today, you are storing up the sun for when winter arrives. This video ends in moments. But your life as a future silent wealthy person begins the moment you make the first decision to say no to your ego. Don't buy what you don't need. Don't tell your plans to those who haven't built anything. Don't seek applause from those in the bleachers. Close the tab. Turn off the screen. Go to your lab. The world is waiting for your empire, but it doesn't need to see it. It only needs to feel the impact of your sovereignty. Be rich. Be silent. Be free. The clock has started. What are you going to do now? Have you ever thought about what will happen the day your relatives find out you have $1 million in your account? The day that cousin who never called you shows up with an unmissable opportunity? Or when your parents start looking at you not as a son, but as a retirement plan? This is the dark side that no finance course mentions. Success attracts parasites. Silent wealth isn't just to protect you from the government or street thieves. It's to protect you from the social tax. If people know you have it, they think they have a right to ask. And if you say no, you're the villain. If you say yes, you're the bank. In both scenarios, you lose your peace. Now, pay attention, because I'm going to give you the technique low-profile billionaires use to navigate society without being targets. It's called middle-class camouflage. It's the habit of projecting an image of struggling stability, while your bank account screams absolute freedom. If you don't master this camouflage, your fortune will be drained by 1,000 small cuts of favors and loans that will never be repaid. How do you behave at a dinner where everyone is complaining about the crisis? The beginner's mistake is wanting to be the teacher. It's wanting to show that he's making money, that he invested in a certain asset, that the crisis doesn't affect him. Stop now. The silent wealthy person is a master of strategic agreement. If everyone is complaining, he agrees. Yeah, things are tough indeed, he says, while his dividend hit his account 5 minutes earlier. Why does he do this? Because complaining is a shield. No one asks for money from someone who seems to be in the same trench. Your wealth should be like a submarine, powerful, lethal, but completely invisible on the radar. And here enters a vital concept that separates the amateurs from the professionals: non-displayable assets. Most people invest in things others can see: cars, watches, houses. The silent wealthy person invests in things the human eye cannot reach. He invests in data security. He invests in alternative citizenships. He invests in non-disclosure agreements. While you worry about whether the neighbor saw your new TV, the silent person is worrying about whether his corporate structure is protected against lawsuits. He is buying layers of protection. He is buying peace for the next 100 years of his lineage. Have you ever heard of the second-generation curse? 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune in the second generation. 90% lose it in the third. Why? Because parents make the mistake of giving comfort without giving the code. They give the fruit, but don't teach how to plant in the dark. The Silent Wealth Guide requires you to raise your children as if you were struggling middle class. They need to feel scarcity to develop hunger. They need to understand that money is not an infinite resource that comes from a card, but the result of value generated in silence. If you want your wealth to last, you need to hide part of it even from your heirs until they prove they have the character to carry it. Sound cruel. Cruel is seeing your grandson in misery because you didn't have the discipline to be silent about your own success. I promised the Matrix exit protocol, and here are the final steps for you to become a ghost in the system. The ethical lie rule: when someone asks you, "How much do you earn?" your answer should always be based on a market average for your profession, never your reality. Protect your sovereignty with silence. The old car test: if you can buy a Porsche, buy a common SUV and keep it for 10 years. The car you drive sends a signal. Ensure that signal is nothing special here. The obsession with liquidity. Silent wealth is having money you can move in 24 hours without anyone needing to authorize it. Fewer properties to show off, more liquid assets to act. The iron circle. Shrink your social circle until only people who don't need your money and aren't impressed by your success remain. If you are the richest in the room, you are in the wrong room. Shadow philanthropy. Help. Donate a lot. But never let your name be carved in stone. True charity is what the ego does not consume. The time for watching is over. The time for acting has begun. You now have in your hands the map that 99% of people will never see. They will continue trapped in the rat race, posting photos of expensive plates while they owe the rent. They will continue trading their soul for status. Not you. From today on, you are an architect of shadows. You will build, you will accumulate, you will dominate, and the world won't have the slightest idea what is happening. The feeling of being the most powerful man in the room, while everyone thinks you are just another guy, is the greatest addiction there is. It is true freedom. Now, erase the tracks. Close this video. Delete the history if necessary. Go into the world and start planting the seeds that no one will see sprout until the shade of your tree covers generations. Silence is your best ally. Discipline is your weapon. Freedom is your destiny. The game has begun. Are you ready to vanish and win?